What's up, everybody? Alex here, and welcome to the Dota Underlords Best Builds of the Week, the weekly series where I show you guys top 5 meta builds to help you rank up in Dota Underlords. And this week we are starting with the newly buffed Warden. Warden is an absolute psychopath now. Basically, Warden will, at 3 stars, will replicate items on his clones, and so naturally, Ogre Cap is absolutely broken on him. And of course, Refresh Orb is a lot of fun too, but this build in specifically is looking towards Ogre Cap. Now, what you're going to do here, I do recommend Joel, because what you're trying to do is you're trying to give Warden the opportunity with the Mango Tree to kind of spawn as many as you can. You're also looking for Bat Rider, because Bat Rider only has 20 mana, so he does activate the Arcane Boots near immediately and should be able to activate them multiple times per fight. You're going to position him here so that he hits all these casters here, and he's also within 2 cells of all of the Warden spots. Bloodseeker's going to move out of the way anyway. What you're doing is you're using this area here to spawn those clones. The idea here is that the Mango Tree is going to spawn the mangoes, which are then going to be eaten by the Warden clones, which are then going to spawn more clones, all of which we're going to have the Ogre Cap. These two sweet Warlocks in the front are going to basically sacrifice themselves. I do recommend aggressive tank Joel in this build. The primary reason why is because Joel's going to help you maintain a front line. That is going to give you the opportunity to essentially... Well, how many crowns does Joel have right now? But anyways, Joel's going to help you kind of lock down that front line and give your Wardens additional time to spawn. That is key. You really need Warden to spawn more Wardens, so you need to give him at least a bit of a tanky front line. And although you're not getting much tankiness out of the Warlocks, you are getting it from the Ogre Magi. You're going to get the stun effect from the Witch Doctor, Dazzle, and of course, and a reminder, the 3-star units are not mandatory with the exception of Warden. This is simply to show you that these 3-star units all have additional 3-star effects when they get to 3 stars, but for this build you do need Warden at 3 stars. At 2 stars he will not replicate the items, and you will not get the benefit of the Bloodbound bonus. Now let's move on to build number 2. And for the second build of the week, we've got ourselves another high roller build, and this is the 3-star Warlock, Demons, and Ogre Restool build. Now, this build is very, very oppressive. The reason why is because once you get the Ogre Magi and you get a Restool Circlet on him and you activate the Demon bonus, he is absolutely unstoppable. He is insane. He's crazy. He can hit everyone for insane damage. He is literally a one-man carry for this entire squad. Now, these 3-star units are all beneficial. However, the only mandatory one, of course, is the Warlock. The Warlock 3-star effect will allow all the demons to cast without silencing each other, which is going to give them a lot of opportunities to cast and boost their damage potential. Now, of course, you can get if you get a second Restool Circlet, you can put it on the Warlock himself, but the one mandatory Circlet is for the Ogre Magi, and from there, you're looking at straight up DPS items. Chrysalis, you're looking for Moon Shards. I love the Chaos and the Queen of Pain, a very good, first selection. If you're not able to get Ogre Cap and you have to pick, Chainmail or Chaos, it's a good call, but you are constantly re-rolling for the Ogre Cap, of course, because on Shadow Fiend it's actually pretty good. Shadow Fiend has a pretty fast attack rate, but overall, an absolutely fantastic build. It is heavily reliant on RNG. It's one of those builds that, it can be a little risky trying to pull off, but if you don't see people going after the Warlock and you want to open for it to start off, then you have a very good chance of pulling out what might be one of the best builds in the current meta. And for the third build of the week, we're doing 6 Mages. And guys, 6 Mages is an absolutely fantastic build. It is absolutely destroying people, thankfully, because Knights aren't exactly the most common build right now. And those Knights and their armor and magic reduction really wreaks havoc on these Mages. But quite frankly, Mages, especially if you get the opportunity to pull Friendly Fire Hobgoblin, have the opportunity to do insane amounts of damage. Hobgoblin can easily lead you in damage at any time. Keeper of the Light is straight up destructive. But the key stars here are, in fact, your mobile units, and let me explain what I mean by that. So, of course, you're running the Ogre Magi to activate the 6 Mages. Once you get to 6 Mages with someone like Lich, you do switch out Lich for Ogre Magi. If he's 3-star, you can keep him, of course. Now, this is a 7-unit build, but if you do get to level 8 or 9, what I would recommend you do, you're likely to have multiple 2-star units. So, for instance, what you can do is if you get to level 8, you can put in another Storm Spirit if you want, or another Morphling. It's very unlikely they're both contested. It's actually less likely that Morphling's contested over the Storm Spirit. Morphling's almost completely uncontested every game. Now, you are positioning yourself like this in the case of Pudges. Heartless is very common right now, so I do recommend a Yule's Scepter on a Spirit, which is kind of positioned there. The problem is, as you can see by his attack range, he can only attack people right here. So if you do not see an Ogre Magi, what you're going to want to do is probably rotate them like this. You'll have the Storm Spirit here so we can attack a little more comfortably. You have the Crystal Maiden, and you have the Keeper of the Lights safely tucked in the corner. Now remember, with the mage builds, if you're going into a mage build, in this particular build, you only have the generation of mana through the arcane boots that you're looking for, but realistically, you are trying to pick a Void Stone if possible, and something like Scythe of the Vise, which will generally really help your mages cast. Now, one other thing I should mention, Razor, I have a K on right now. It's always a good item for Razor, but you can always move it to someone like Morphling or the Lich, of course, for Chain Frost. And if you do happen to have a 3-star Razor, you're going to want to have the something like a Butterfly on him, or something that increases its attack speed, because he's going to steal attack damage from his target and apply it to them, as an additional attack when he is at 3 stars. So he has a fantastic 3-star ability. He's going to steal attack damage and apply additional damage to his target. So any attack rage, Butterfly is ideal for him, because what you're going to do is you're going to attack faster, you're doing additional damage, and he's going to survive longer to hopefully get multiple casts off, which is a great thing for your AoE based team. I do recommend Tidehunter up front with something like a Chainmail or Blade Mail, simply because it helps to lock down this front line with behind the barricades, and overall, if these mages are protected, they can do a tremendous amount of damage. Surprise, surprise, Heartless Trolls are still good. Now, Heartless Trolls are doing a fantastic job in the current meta, not necessarily because of 3-star Pudge. People, here's the thing, you're not going to 3-star Pudge in the vast majority of your games, because Pudge is a highly contested unit because of how common people are going Heartless. But the thing that I'm noticing is not many people are going 4 Trolls, and that actually blows my mind, because 4 Trolls is one of the most consistently strong compositions you can run, and when you run them with 4 Heartless, naturally you're looking at an absolutely fantastic combo. Fast auto attacks, reduced armor. It is a fantastic combination, and you see it kind of shine through here. Of course, you are trying to go with your Troll Warlord with your Mask of Madness. You can swap them in for whoever your weakest troll is. If it's Bat Rider, you take out Bat Rider, no problem. Of course, the reason why I should mention, Bat Rider is great for the arcane boots because he only has 20 mana, so he activates it right away for everybody, because you do have a lot of spellcasters here. I know you're using your trolls as kind of like actual auto attackers here, but make no mistake, they're still spellcasters. And also you have the opportunity, if you wish, you can put Nyx Assassin in. I do recommend him going in for someone like the Abaddon if possible, and you can actually transfer the Mask of Madness to him as well. If you do not have if you don't have a Troll Warlord, you can have the Mask of Madness on him. When you get your Troll Warlord, you can transfer the mask from the Troll Warlord, from the Lifestealer to the Troll Warlord, and vice versa, and put something like the Silver's Edge on the Lifestealer. For the trolls, you want to get attack-based items for them whenever possible. Vlad's is fantastic on a Drow Ranger. You want to maximize the amount of attack damage you're doing. So things like Bashers, because they're attacking so quickly. So I know that the Shadow Shaman has an extremely fast attack rate, but I still like Octarine on Shadow Shaman in practice. Having those multiple kind of wards dropping in a fight is so key. You could, of course, put like a Silver's Edge or Basher on him as well, and he'll do good work. But overall, a fantastic build, and one that is currently driving the current meta. It feels like it's every week I gotta tell you that assassins are still damn good, and they are. And a lot of people are still passing up on them, and I've determined that this build is actually one of the current best in the current meta, and the reason why is because what you've got here is you have a build up to assassins and the assassins at 6 themselves. So basically what I recommend you doing, because a lot of people struggle with assassins early, is you are running spirits before you're running assassins, and then what you're going to do, you transition into 6 assassins from spirits while adding in the voids along the way. Realistically, you don't have to stretch at all. You don't have to stretch at all, because what you're doing is you're taking Nyx, you are taking Ember, you're taking Queen early, 3 assassins, you're taking Storm Spirit, you're taking Earth Spirit, 3 spirits, that's 6 units. Perfect, right? So what you're going to do from there is, as you continue to level, you're going to add in your Void Spirit if you can for your 4th Spirit, which just basically allows you for additional activations. And then as you climb, you're going to add your Slark, your Temp TA, and your Faceless Void. The one thing you cannot do in this build is roll hard early for 3 stars of even Earth Spirit or Nyx Assassin for that matter. You have to level. You have no choice. You have to level, let other people roll. Your build is about composition here. You want to get to the Slark and TA early. You need to get the Void Spirit. You need to get to the Faceless Void. You need to be level 8 here. And you need a Mask of Madness, right? So it's extremely important in this build that you level as aggressively as you can. Reroll when you can. Like if you can Blacklist 5, do it. But at the end of the day, you have to level up to 8 at a minimum. I do recommend you go Blink Dagger on the Ember Spirit simply because you want to get an early Delta Slam. Sometimes you can, don't get me wrong, Blade Fury is still good. It is still good. So you need to make that determination. Would you rather prioritize Delta slamming with the spirits, you go Blink Dagger, or would you rather do increased damage with the assassins via Battle Fury? It's up to you. I tend to go Blink Dagger, but Battle Fury can still absolutely win a fight, especially against clustered enemies. Okay? Anyways, guys, if you have any questions, let me know in the comments below. You know that I'll be happy to answer them. Thank you guys so much for watching, and a very special thank you to all of my wonderful subscribers. Take care, everyone, and have yourselves an absolutely wonderful day.